After a long life of working for financial freedom, a man finds himself reborn as the cheapest, stickiest slime in a magical pet store. Looking into a mirror, he realizes his new jelly-like body is a far cry from the human form he once possessed. Unknown to him, this simple body contains nearly 10,000 hidden evolution paths waiting to be unlocked. At that same moment, a powerful woman named Shen Ruming enters the shop, her eyes fixed on a specific black puppy. Shen Ruming is a regressor, a former Empress who traveled back 16 years after being betrayed and killed. Her goal is to reclaim her peak power by contracting her old comrade, the Void Demon Wolf, which currently looks like a common black dog. The slime, however, is being licked incessantly by the puppy and is desperately trying to push the creature away. As Ruming begins the complex soul contract ritual, a blue magic array illuminates the floor beneath the puppy. Seizing a moment of chaos, the slime manages to roll into the center of the magic circle, displacing the wolf puppy. Before Ruming can stop it, the contract bonds her soul to the lowly slime instead of the legendary demon wolf. She collapses to the floor, realizing that a soul contract is a lifelong binding that cannot be undone. The slime, meanwhile, checks its new status and finds it has gained a powerful S-rank talent through the bond. Ruming eventually grabs the slime, demanding to know why it ruined her plans for absolute power. Seeing the creature's helplessness, she decides she must find a way to make it stronger, since their lives are now linked. Because they are inseparable, the shop owner allows her to take the slime as a free gift along with the puppy. Back at her home, the slime begins to explore its system, searching for a path to regain a human form. It discovers a legendary 9-star evolution path that requires 5 rare materials to trigger. Suddenly, the slime detects the first material, an entanglement feather, sitting right on Ruming's desk. It struggles to climb the desk, eventually getting Ruming's attention to help it up. Once on the desk, the slime swallows the feather in one gulp, much to Ruming's horror. Ruming realizes the slime dissolved a powerful artifact in seconds, proving it is no ordinary creature. She asks if it can understand her, and the slime blurps, wants to confirm it is sentient. To her utter amazement, the slime picks up a pen and clumsily writes the character for dragon on a piece of paper. Believing it might be a dragon in infancy, Ruming decides to spend all her savings to buy the remaining evolution materials. She visits an old family friend, Aunt Ding, to secure a discount on rare martial arts resources. Aunt Ding warns her that the powerful Chi family is still hunting for her after her parents' disappearance. Ruming reveals she has awakened S-class dual talents, stunning Aunt Ding with her immense potential. Seeing her resolve, Aunt Ding agrees to help her acquire the Awakening Stone and other necessities. Ruming returns home with a bag full of treasures, and the slime immediately begins the absorption process. A countdown appears in the slime's vision as it prepares to undergo its first major evolution. When the light fades, the slime looks almost identical, except its body has turned a shimmering gold. However, its physical strength has skyrocketed as it accidentally smashes a wooden desk with a single tap. The slime tests its first skill, Judgment Hammer, and accidentally blasts a massive hole in the apartment wall. Ruming feels the power surge through her soul bond, her own cultivation level jumping forward instantly. She decides to name the slime Q, but it quickly writes the name Luli to protest. Realizing the Chi family will soon track them, Ruming prepares to head to the trial grounds to hide and train. They arrive at the heavily guarded trial ground factory where soldiers check their credentials. The guards are stunned when Ruming displays her peak stage 2 power despite having awakened only 2 days ago. Meanwhile, the Chi family receives news of Ruming's movement and dispatches their young heir to eliminate her. Stepping through the gate, Ruming and Luli enter a dense prehistoric forest that exists in its own dimension. The humid air of the trial grounds clings to Luli as he bounces cautiously across the moss-covered floor. Shen Ruming keeps her hand gripped tightly on the hilt of her blade while scanning the thicket for movement. A glowing purple flower with crystalline petals pulses with mana near the base of a massive tree. Luli feels an irresistible pull toward the magical plant as his evolution system begins to chime. Before Ruming can stop him, the small slime lunges forward and engulfs the entire flower in one gulp. Heat explodes within Luli's gelatinous body as the raw mana begins to rewrite his genetic code. Rooming kneels down beside her pet, her eyes wide with concern for the creature she is bound to. A translucent system interface appears in the air, listing thousands of possible evolutionary branches. Luli focuses his consciousness on the rarest path, a hidden lineage leading toward the dragon god. His blue translucent skin begins to thicken and turn into a brilliant, shimmering metallic gold. Two small, nub-like horns sprout from the top of his head as a draconic aura radiates outward. Rooming stands back as she feels her own mana capacity double through their shared soul bond. The golden slime bounces once, creating a small shockwave that shatters the surrounding rocks. Their celebration is cut short by the sound of heavy boots crushing the undergrowth nearby. A young man in ornate black silk armor steps into the clearing with a cruel smirk on his face. Rooming's eyes turn a lethal shade of blue as she recognizes the heir of the Chi family. The Chi heir laughs while gesturing to the dozen high-level assassins surrounding the duo. His eyes fixate on Luli, realizing that the golden slime is a mutation worth a fortune. Luli hops in front of Rooming's boots, his small body vibrating with a low, threatening hum. The Chi heir commands his subordinates to seize the beast and kill the disgraced Empress. 3 assassins lunges forward simultaneously, their daggers coated in a paralyzing green poison. Rooming draws her ice blade in a blur of motion, parrying the first strike with surgical precision. Luli opens his mouth wide and fires a concentrated beam of golden light at the second attacker. The assassin is blasted backward into a tree trunk, his armor scorched by the unexpected power. Rooming spins and unleashes a wave of frost that freezes the feet of the remaining enemies. The Chi heir sneers and draws a massive claymore that burns with a dark, corrupting flame. He swings the weapon, sending a crescent of fire that evaporates Rooming's ice defenses instantly. Luli realizes they are outnumbered and outmatched by the heir's superior cultivation level. He signals to Rooming through their mental link to retreat toward the darker parts of the forest. Rooming throws a flash freeze bomb onto the ground, creating a massive cloud of white vapor. The duo turns and sprints into the thick undergrowth, moving away from the trail path. Behind them, the Chi heir screams in rage and orders his men to hunt them down like dogs. Luli's golden glow begins to flicker as the strain of his sudden evolution takes its toll. Rooming scoops him up and tucks him into her travel cloak to keep him safe. A roar echoes from the deep trial levels, signaling that they have entered the territory of ancient beasts. They reach the edge of a massive cliff with a swirling vortex of energy at the bottom. The sound of the Chi family assassins grows louder as they close the distance. Rooming looks down at the vortex and then back at the golden slime in her arms. She takes a deep breath and leaps into the abyss just as a flaming sword strike narrowly misses her head. As they fall into the unknown, a massive shadow beneath the vortex opens a giant, ancient eye. The massive ancient eye blinked, illuminating the dark abyss with a terrifying crimson light. Shen Rooming gripped her frost blade tightly as she felt the suffocating pressure of a legendary powerhouse. A deep, rumbling voice echoed through the cavern, demanding to know why mortals had intruded upon the dragon's grave. The golden slime bounced forward, projecting a psychic message of peace to the hidden guardian. From the shadows emerged the frost dragon sage, an ancient beast thought to be extinct for millennia. The sage recognized the slime's hidden potential and the purity of the Empress's soul contract. It offered them a final trial to unlock the ultimate evolution of the dragon path. Shen Rooming endured the freezing temperatures of the dragon's well to prove her worthiness. Meanwhile, the golden slime began to absorb the concentrated draconic essence floating in the air. The system interface flashed wildly as the evolution progress bar reached 100%. The slime transformed, its soft body hardening into golden scales and majestic wings. Shen Rooming rose from the water, her frost magic now infused with the power of the sage. Above ground, the Chi family elders celebrated their perceived victory over the Empress. Chi Long, the treacherous heir, boasted about how he would now rule the entire province. Suddenly, the sky turned a dark, icy blue as a massive pillar of light erupted from the trial grounds. The ground shook with a force that sent the Chi family soldiers tumbling to their knees. A voice like cracking ice boomed across the city announcing the return of the Empress. Beside her flew a magnificent golden dragon, its roar shattering the windows of the palace. Qi Long ordered his archers to fire, but the arrows froze in midair and shattered. With a wave of her hand, Shen Ruming summoned a blizzard that encased the Qi family guards in blocks of ice. The golden dragon dived through the ranks, knocking over siege engines with its powerful tail. Qi Long tried to flee, but he found his feet frozen to the marble floor of his throne room. Shen Ruming walked slowly toward him, each step leaving a frost-covered footprint behind. She demanded an explanation for the betrayal that had cost her so much in her previous life. Qi Long laughed hysterically, claiming that the weak were only meant to be stepped upon. The golden dragon landed behind the Empress, its eyes glowing with a judgmental golden light. Shen Ruming declared that the Qi family's reign of terror ended today. She unleashed a final strike that shattered the dark energy residing within the palace. As the dust settled, the dark clouds vanished and the sun shone over the liberated city. The citizens emerged from their homes, cheering for the return of their true leader. Shen Ruming looked at her companion, realizing she could never have done this without him. The golden dragon purred, its form shifting back into a small, squishy golden slime. With the Qi family gone, Shen Ruming set about rebuilding the kingdom with justice and wisdom. The slime, however, was more interested in the high-grade spirit fruits provided by the royal kitchen. The protagonist realized that even as a slime, he had found a home and a purpose in this world. He vowed to continue his evolution, knowing that the world was vast and full of more secrets. The bond between the Empress and her pet became a legend told for generations to come. They spent their days training together, their powers perfectly in sync. Looking at the horizon, Shen Ruming knew that her past was finally laid to rest. Together, the Empress and her hidden dragon stood ready to face whatever the future might hold. Their story was no longer one of revenge, but one of a new beginning.